What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be talking about Terrifier. So let's get into that. Hi, my name is Leo, and as I talk about anything movie, TV show, video game related, or just anything nerdy, you have come to the right place. And like I said, today we are talking about Terrifier. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Now, continuing on in our Halloween special, as well as our Terrifier review series in preparation for Terrifier 3, it's time to go to the one that kind of started all in a way. This is definitely the proof of concept of Art the Clown, the beginning of the Terrifier series. Of course, we have All Hallows Eve that I reviewed yesterday, but this is definitely the one that I feel like put it more on the map for sure. But before I give you all my thoughts about Terrifier, let me know what you guys think about this movie in the comment section down below. Share your excitement for Terrifier 3. Also share your thoughts of the entire Terrifier franchise. Definitely love to hear all you guys' thoughts in the comment sections down below. Now, starting off with the positives of this movie, I think Art the Clown is just an amazing icon. You know, when this movie came out, there was a lot of people that were saying that Art the Clown is already a new horror icon. I still had my reservations about Art the Clown, but I do think that he is very menacing, very scary, very creepy, very brutal, and that's what makes him like such a standout. We've had brutal killers in the past in different movies, but I feel like Art the Clown takes it to a completely different level in a way that is almost laughable how crazy these things are. There's so many, these kills are so crazy that you start to kind of nervously laugh and you're terrified of the situation, but you're enjoying what's going on because it's just so bombastic and crazy. Like these things, you would have never expect a killer to do something like this within a movie. And then of course, you know, packing on with the practical effects of practical gore. You know, Damien Leone does an amazing job with the special effects in terms of practical gore. So all these different ingredients of having this, you know, new Art the Clown, the new killer, and these very crazy kill sequences and amazing gore and special effects and practical effects, when you mix it all together, it just makes for such a mesmerizing type of movie that just keeps you locked into the screen on the edge of your seat, wondering what this clown is going to do next. How much further can this clown go? And I love that this is just a very independent, low budget horror film. You know, you can obviously tell that it's pretty low budget just because of the sets and the minimal amount of people that are actually within the movie. But that also is kind of what makes it fun. That's what makes it a little more gritty and feel a little bit more realistic and real, that it's so low budget. The camera work is low budget, the lighting, but it fits what this character is. It fits what this movie is trying to be. And I think that just amplifies, again, Art the Clown, amplifies the story, amplifies the creepiness and the scariness of this movie. You know, you definitely fear this clown, you know, and that's why I feel like a lot of people, you know, right away started saying that Art the Clown is a horror icon, because right off the bat, he makes a staple, he makes a stance of who he is in the horror world, and he just became, you know, in front of everybody's eyes out of nowhere. Like I remember the first time I ever saw this movie, I just came home from school, scrolling through Netflix, and I saw Terrifier and this really creepy clown, and I was like, I don't know, let's give this a shot. I never heard this movie before. I never knew who the director was, never heard of anything. I was like, this is probably one of those just very independent horror movies that no one really talks about. And I click it and I watch it, and it was just one of the most crazy viewing experience of a horror movie that I've ever seen in my entire life. And like I said, I had some reservations about calling him a horror icon because I feel like he wasn't established yet. He was still very fresh, but he, like I said, he definitely stands out. He definitely, you know, puts a giant stamp on the horror community for sure. And while a lot of these things are kind of low budget, I think Damien Leone, from, you know, All Hallows Eve into Terrifier, I think his dialogue got a little bit better. It's still not perfect, but it got a little bit better. The shot choices are still very, very fun and enjoyable, and he has a very unique directing style that again translates to this movie. I think his directing style is very unique and fresh, and I enjoy what he does with his movies. And I think the pacing is just done very well. You know, this is a very quick in and out movie, not too much on the story side here. This is a lot more focused on Art the Clown as a killer, and it takes you to these steps very, very quick, and it gets going pretty fast. So this is a very fun, very brutal in and out horror movie that you can definitely enjoy and just kind of have one of those crazy horror movie date nights for sure. And while all the other characters besides Art aren't really big standouts, I do think that the cast itself just does a fairly good job in general of being these very kind of realistic girls that have been going trick-or-treating all night long and are a little bit drunk, and they're kind of, you have the one that's being a little bit more reserved about this clown and being close to it, and you have the other one that, you know, plays your typical like drunk person that doesn't care and thinks everything's okay, and then things just start going more and more sinister as things go on. And I think it just kind of plays into that fun nature of it. And I think everyone knows, well, it's not, like I said, not the best acting in the world. It's not world-class stuff, you know, going on here, but it feels believable. It feels real. And again, it just feels very like raw. And that just adds to the terrifyingness of this movie. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into my cons. And this movie is, again, a very low budget proof of concept of the killer Art the Clown. And while that doesn't make this movie any less interesting or any less good of what kind of a movie it is, you definitely see that they haven't felt the full potential yet of this killer. They've obviously gone through a very, you know, extreme, unique lengths to make his kind of kills and his character stand out. But again, it's still just a proof of concept. There's not a story here, like pretty much at all. Like you said, you just follow these two girls after trick-or-treating, after getting drunk, after going to the clubs and stuff on Halloween night, as they try to escape this clown, and people just get killed. You know, there's not much character development here. There's no really story arcs or lore that we learn about this clown, except for pretty much the last shot of this movie. So that's where this movie kind of gets held back a little bit. This is definitely just one of those movies you throw on for the brutality of Art the Clown, and you don't go there for anything else. You don't go there for character stories. You don't go in there for, you know, just acting. You don't go in there for any of that. You go in there for Art the Clown and the kills, and that's what this movie gives you. That's all this movie is. Where I've said it before, in All Hallows Eve, that was a proof of concept of Art the Clown as a killer. Do people like this character? And then Terrifier is a proof of concept of, can this killer sustain a full feature-length film on his own? And once we get into Terrifier 2, obviously it gets a lot better. But as this movie, as it stands, it is a very quick in and out movie, going for the brutality and kills, and you do nothing else. So that definitely gives it a step down when it comes to the overall movie, because story is very important to me personally. And one con that I want to bring up, and I don't think this is not a con for me, but I know this might be a con for a lot of people, is the brutality of the kills. You know, that's what Terrifier is. That's what we come to these movies for. But not everybody is going to enjoy this level of gore, this level of extreme murder. It's a very niche thing. You know, not everybody's going to be able to enjoy this. You know, this can borderline on what people like to call torture porn, like the Saw movies. It gets to that level. It gets crazy. There's a lot of crazy kills, and there's gonna be people that can't stomach that, can't watch it. It's just not for them. That's not what they come to horror movies for, and that is completely understandable if the Terrifier series or Art the Clown himself is not your cup of tea. And lastly, this kind of fits into everything with the story and everything like that. I wish we did get a little bit more information about Art the Clown, who this person is, what this killer is, what kind of being or entity or just human being they are, you know. And again, that just falls flat because the story is just not there. There's no story, there's no arcs or anything like that. It's just a very simple movie, very simple slasher film. And I wish we got a little bit more about what this character is, what this killer is, and you get a little glimpse of that literally in the last final scene, and I wish we explored it a little bit more. So that's kind of, again, it's just really the story, the arcs, the filling in all the different gaps is just not there for this movie. So it makes it for a much more simple film, a movie you can definitely throw on, have a good time with. I still have a good time with it, but I just want a little bit more from this film. But overall, let me know what you guys think about Terrifier. I still have a blast with this movie. I think this is definitely a great horror film from Damien Leone. Let me know what you guys think about this movie in the comment section down below. Again, let me know your excitement for Terrifier 3. Let me know what you guys think about the entire Terrifier franchise as a whole. But again, if you guys like Time and Think movie, TV shows, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.